there. So today we're going to be discussing the psoas, okay? And we're going to use, for Yamuna's work, I use either the black ball or her pearl ball or her green ball for this work. All right, so let me first discuss the psoas. The psoas is the muscle of fight or flight. It was what draws the knee to the chest to run, to cower, to even just to walk, or to sit. When you're drawing your knee towards your chest, you're using the psoas. And that muscle goes from about T12, the vertebrae, in the back and cuts through the front, towards the front of the body, through the abdomen, and attaches on the upper inside of the thigh. It's a very important muscle. It's tight on a lot of people for many different reasons, including just sitting or stress. So we're going to release this. You can do this at the wall or you could do it on the ground as I'm going to do. And I'm going to trace where we're doing it. So you see where the ribs separate here. The ribs come apart here. And I'm going to come just right in the center with the ball. And then I'm going to trace it along the inside of the ribs till I get to the edge. And then I'm going to come down vertically on the inside edge of that hip point here we talk about. And then come down into the thigh. So you can lean against the wall, moving the ball this place, or you can lie on the ground either rolling or just moving the ball in these places and breathing. You do one side and go take a walk, because you're going to be amazed how much more freedom you have in your walk. Okay? Okay, so I have this pearl ball not on my ribs, but just where the ribs meet in that triangle in the solar plexus. It's in the belly. It can be quite sore here, so you can push into your elbows and take more weight off if you wish. So I'm just going to sink here and breathe a couple of breaths. And then we're going to trace on my right side. I'm going to move the ball tracing along the underside of the ribs. So the top of the ball you'll feel a little bit of, the top of the ball you'll feel a little bit of the ribs. The rest of the ball, where the working part of the ball is really in the psoas, or in the belly at this moment. I'm going to move it a little bit further out, so it's still tracing along the inside of the ribs. I'm going to sink there. Now, I've got to the edge of the ribs, and I'm going to start moving vertically downward toward my leg. So I'm moving vertically downward and just pressing into the psoas. For some of you, this might be really tight. You can always do one of two things. Lift yourself up off the ball a little bit with the elbows, or you can take some of the air out of the ball. Okay, we're going to come down a little bit further. So now I feel a little bit of the hip point. A little bit of the hip point with this work at the bottom part of the ball. And then I'm going to move on the inside edge of the hip point, so I really do feel the entire edge of the hip point on my thigh. And then I'm going to take it down where I feel the beginning of the pubic bone and the lower part of the hip point. And then I'm going to take it down to the bottom of the hip point and the top of the thigh, so kind of in the fold there a little bit. And then I'm going to turn my foot outward as I come on the inside of the leg. So I'm just at the very top of the thigh, pressing down. I'm just using my leg weight. You can either press down or just use your leg weight. And then I'm going to come down just a smidge more for good measure. You might actually, the first time or two that you do this, feel the attachment of the psoas on the inner thigh. So I really am on the inner thigh with this ball. Okay, so I'm going to bring myself up and I'm going to take a walk and see how well my right leg swings in the hip compared to the left. Okay, so now we're going to do the left side. So I have the ball back in the center where the ribs separate, taking a breath. And it does hurt a lot for me today. I haven't done this in a while. And then I'm going to move that ball slightly towards the left, tracing the inside edge of the ribs. So here's my ribs. You can see that there's a little bit of the ball is on the ribs, but it's just barely touching. Okay, this is feeling more sore on this side. Then go down further. So now I'm really at the lower part of the ribs. Right there, in the psoas. Then I'm going to trace vertically downwards. So I'm just between the ribs and the hip point. And it is a lot tighter on this side today. I wonder why. And then I'm going to come down on the inside of the hip point. You can go slower if you want. So a lot of times people's right side is tighter for a couple reasons. One is it's their driving side. And the other reason is a lot of people are right-sided and they step off the curb with their right foot all the time, whether they're running, climbing, walking upstairs, walking downstairs. Try to switch that up. Okay, so now I'm moving and not explaining. So I'm coming just now below, on the lower part of the pubic bone where it meets the thigh. And then onto the thigh. And then I'm turning my foot out and I'm coming on the inside edge of the thigh. So I definitely feel it a lot more on this side. You can go slower, as I say. All right, or do it against the wall. I'm going to come up now and I'm going to take a walk and see how the difference is. See how you stand up straighter. Okay, so I'm standing up right now after doing both of these exercises. I definitely feel a lift right up through the center. I feel my shoulders dropping back. I also feel like I'm standing more on the outside of my feet and my arches are lifted. So you can check that out. As you stand, see if you feel lift up the front, drop down the back. Do you feel the pubic bone lift, the tailbone drop? How do you feel in your feet? So I'm going to take a walk now and integrate this work. Oh, it's so much easier to stand. It's unbelievable. It's so much freer and lighter. It's wonderful. That's what I want you to start noticing. How much ease can you have in standing, in walking, in being in your body that you never knew you could have before.